Oh, this is... Hi. Hello. Welcome to Flippin' Hippo's reselling channel, where I have an awkward hello every week because I never know what to say when we flip over to live. Welcome in. This is the Thursday Hanging with the Hippos live reseller chat. I'm here every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. with two of my reseller friends and one of my 10th and main friends who are also resellers. And we are here as a panel to answer questions from the chat. So ask us anything you want to ask about reselling. That includes platforms, shipping, sourcing, accounting. You know, we're not CPAs, but you can ask questions and we'll answer the best we can. So I'll let everyone introduce themselves real quick so you can see who we're going to be talking to tonight. We'll start with Brian.
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm with Brian's Resell Shop. I am on several different platforms. I've been selling part-time since 99 and went full-time in October of 24.
And I'm Nanette with Grandma's Secret Shop, and I sell on eBay, Whatnot, Depop, Etsy, and Mercari. I have been selling for almost 25 years, but I got serious about it probably about 6 years ago. And then I actually retired from my full-time. I was an ER nurse for 24 years, and I retired from that in 2022. And so now I do full-time, and eBay is my favorite platform, with Etsy a very, very close coming up there. So, but anyways, I'm glad to be here. I've been here with Star before. We do 10th of Maine together, and we're gonna have fun tonight.
My turn. Hi, I'm Vetta of Vettas Treasures. I specialize in plus size clothing for women and men. I'm trying to grow my men's selection. I really enjoyed it. I started off as an everything seller and just found that my passion truly was for finding plus size clothes for plus size beauties, and I call it teddy bears. And so I do sell a little bit of other stuff, but it's just the plus size is definitely my niche. You can find me on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, Whatnot, and I think that's it. But my two favorite are Poshmark and Mercari. So definitely, if you're following me, follow me there. So, yeah, and I love reselling. That's me.
Right, I'll do a small introduction for myself in case you followed somebody here and you aren't familiar with who I am. My name is Star, and I built my reselling business with my partner, Keith, and we built it to a full-time business for both of us. He stayed with me for 8 years, and then he said he didn't like clothes anymore, and he bailed on me. So he's an accountant now. So now I have a free tax person. I sell on 6 platforms, and I do social media on all the places, and I'm probably addicted to TikTok. And I do a lot of videos on here about organization, time management, work-life balance. Those are my 3 platforms I talk a lot about. I do a lot of teaching and tutorial videos. So I don't see any questions in the chat yet, but you've got 4 brains that run 4 completely different businesses in different ways here tonight. So don't be afraid to ask your questions. I'm going to start by stirring the pot with something that's on fire in the community right now. Let's talk about everybody's opinions and what you feel and what you think about eBay buying Depop.
So I think it's a great thing, actually. I think there's going to be a lot of changes in 2026 in the reselling community. And this will be, I think it'll be, Depop I don't think has been growing very well. I think it's been very stagnant, the sales over there. And I think there's going to be a lot of, eBay have a lot of positive things about it that they're going to bring to Depop. I think it's going to be a huge positive impact on their business. So.
I tend to agree with Brian. I'm thinking about the meetings that I've been in with Depop and some of their advice from their head people. And I think they might be having to worry about their jobs a little bit, because I think that eBay is going to want the bigger sellers on there, not just the people who are reselling their closet. So I'm curious to see what happens. I think the fees will definitely change. I think that they will go up as time goes by, but I'm really curious to see what happens, especially starting out, and where it goes from there. And I understand eBay wanting to target that younger Y2K consumer, which is what a lot of the younger people on Depop, they like that Y2K items, and they like the reducing and recycling and redoing. So yeah, I'm excited. I think it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, Mercari could have bought it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, and I have, Poshmark doesn't want to love me. They won't let me sell on their,
Mercari shows me love.
Posh won't let me sell on their platform, and I can't figure out why. So yeah.
What did you do?
I don't know what I did, but I've emailed them and emailed them and emailed them and tried to find out, and they won't answer me.
Oh my gosh.
They keep. I'm just doing a whole nother thing of emails again, and they just go in circles and tell me they're looking into it and never give me an answer, and I have no idea.
So I'm kind of on the fence with the two of them. I kind of could see the pros, but I also could see the cons. And the pros and they both tipped on both the scales of why. So the pros, I feel like eBay has a lot of organization and like structure that they could bring, because they do have like the top kind of like search feeds, and I mean the people that they would bring to Depop just alone, like, we know that they're the top dog. But so I feel like them bringing their abilities would be amazing. But some of the things that we don't love about eBay, I don't want them to bring. So kind of like the fees, the structure and stuff, like I kind of like, Depop is very simple. It's no fees unless you boost. And if it don't sell from the boost, then you don't pay any fees. It's just plain, simple, easy. But then, with eBay, I mean, we practically got to be accountants sometime to realize why we got paid when we got paid. I'm like, okay, well, you took off for this for promotions. This came off for the sales. This came off for the shipping. Wait a minute, how did I get $2? So I don't want that for Depop. So I can see how it could be good, but then it could also be like, really. But I guess right now it's just kind of a wait and see. I mean, they did say it would be standalone, but like I said, it'll just kind of be we have to see what happens, and then it'll become a situation of, like Trish says, it's their playground, their sandbox. So we just have to go by the rules and make it work. I mean, we do that pretty much with every platform. We have to figure out a groove and make it work. So
yeah. So I think the same. I think it's mostly a good thing, but there's probably going to be some bad things that come with it. Not necessarily bad, but negative. Just like with any changes, even when the changes are meant for good, eBay might impose fees. eBay might do this. eBay might do that. But listen, eBay is globally well known. It's mentioned in Friends. It's mentioned in every book I read. Everyone knows what eBay is. And so if they can take that and some of their money and like put that into Depop to get some more marketing and eyeballs on the platform, I would actually be willing to pay fees if I was getting more sales and more visibility and advertising in the platform. So I'm for now going to say it's a good thing, and I'm very interested and excited to see what it's going to bring to Depop. I kind of feel like Etsy, who used to own Depop. I also saw today on Instagram, a lot of people didn't know that Etsy used to own Depop.
Hey, I didn't know because of LP. When they talked about it in their mastermind, I was like, wait, what?
They did, but I feel like Etsy kind of just like had it and left it on its own, and it was mostly a UK platform, and it was never really optimized for the US buyers and sellers. And I think that's something else eBay could bring to it, like optimize it, because they run a US and a UK eBay. So I think they're more diverse in that than Etsy is.
Yeah, I was wondering how strong they were in the UK, but I think they have a pretty good UK presence right now with eBay already.
Well,
Yeah.
if you look at just the categories, so thankfully I read a lot. If you don't know that about me, I'm a huge bookworm. I read about 100 books a year. I don't watch a lot of TV or movie stuff. I read. And I read a lot of UK authors. So when I started listing on Depop and I was listing a sweater, I'm like, oh, that's a jumper. Like, I just knew the terms, but a lot of people in the USA don't. So I think it's going to be good. Now we have a question from We have a question, guys. Crusty question from Crystal. What are things you think eBay will impose on Depop right away?
I think they're going to impose fees for one, and hopefully they've rechanged the title, the structure, the listing flow. I think the title, they'll bring titles and things like that. It'll make it easier for listing flow. So those are what I'm thinking they're bringing.
I am hoping that eBay will, I talked to Star about this earlier, we'll take a little bit of their Depop's advice on shipping for heavier things to where they're a little more reasonable. And then not on the Depop here, I'm going to venture off because I saw a comment that Crystal had made. And Clara and I have talked about the Poshmark thing, and we actually had a meeting set up. And the day that we were having the meeting was the day that the president of Poshmark, whoever, stepped down, and that was Clara's contact. So we're still working on it, but yeah, in the meantime, nothing's happening.
I definitely think it's going to be the fees. I feel like the fees, because money makes things move. And so if they can, we're going to want all these things for them to create and do and put, labor into stuff, then, they want profit for it. And so I think that would honestly be the first thing that I would do, because most people, they spend money, you want to make money. So hope, fingers crossed, no. If anything, how about they crack down on these people with all these likes and we're sending offers and stuff. Let's address that part. eBay, get on that. Lock down those. Make those offers stick.
Yeah, so I would like to see binding offers. Oh my gosh. If I had a penny for every offer I got on Depop that didn't sell, I could buy more books. I could probably go to Barnes & Noble and have a field day, right? It's nuts. I think they're going to implement fees. It's just who eBay is. Look what they just recently did with the promoted listings. I've talked about that ad nauseum on this channel. You know how I feel. eBay, you're greedy. I think they're going to implement fees. That's just what they're going to do, and they're probably going to make the boosted sales on Depop the same as they are on eBay, when a click equals payment. Now, those are the negative things, but I think the positive things is we might see the binding offers, we might see more advertising, more eyes, better shipping options, and things like that. Because they jump from what, like 2 pounds to 10 pounds? Nuts. Yeah. See, now people say that, but here, I'm going to give you an anecdotal tale from my life. So the house that we rent was privately owned, and that's why we chose it, because we like private owners. And after 3-4 years of living here, he owned the whole street. He was rich. He owned the whole street, and he sold it all and went to Florida, and now we're owned by this property management company. And we were so sure last October, they just bought all these houses on the street. They're going to raise the rent, and they didn't. Don't do it this year either. So sometimes when you expect people to try to offset that, they don't. They would rather just keep things copacetic the way they are, so that they can just keep going smoothly.
It would be nice. The one thing, my very favorite thing about eBay is the fact you can talk to a real person. And so I'm hoping that they, that is my very, very favorite number one thing that I have to say about eBay is being able to talk to a real person.
Yeah. And I really wanted to comment real quick. Kathy mentioned that Depop is run by sellers as opposed to, I think some eBay employees are resellers, but I think a lot of the higher ups aren't. And I really think it helps. And that's one of the reasons why I like LP. It's the only cross-posting platform that is owned, operated, ran, and everybody that works there is a reseller. It helps if the employees of a company are in the trenches and know our pain points and know exactly what we need and how we need it and how we need it to work. So I don't know, maybe on, not just what eBay can bring to Depop. Maybe Depop can bring some of that to eBay, more of the seller point of view.
Yeah.
That's always nice when you have that. All right, the next question. Oh, I just wanted, I think, us to comment on this. We did comment on that. Okay. I'm just starting selling. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm old. I just started selling on eBay a few months ago. I'm going out of state for 10 days. What are your thoughts on any of my listings or just pausing them with time away? Less than 20 listings.
I would pause them. I'd just put them on vacation. That way you don't have to do all the work again of relisting them. Just put them on vacation.
You have to have a store to have vacation, correct? So I guess that would be one of the things is, do you have a basic store where you can put it on vacation?
I would say the vacation, like Brian. I mean, you don't want to just end and remove everything. You just put it on vacation. I mean, you can put up a vacation of 30 days, and I think even then, I think at 30 days you can go back in and do it again.
Yeah, I would say vacation too. You're new. You don't want to lose any momentum you have. And I think ending everything is worse than going on vacation. And the other option would be to put out your handling time, but I think that's worse than going on vacation too. So that is the answer to that. Hey, what do you sell on Depop?
I don't sell a lot on Depop. I really just started over there. I've only sold a few things, so I'm not really big over there yet.
I sell brown and black. That we were just talking about that earlier. Yeah, brown and black. I can't sell a colored thing for anything.
So maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I list plus size clothes. I've sold nothing, but I am new to it. So I guess with anything you have to build a momentum. I'm just trying to find. I guess I'm waiting for my buyers. So if you're out there, I'm on Depop. Come buy my stuff. I'm looking for you.
So what I list on Depop and what I sell on Depop are two whole different worlds. I kind of like to move all of one thing at once. So when I started in December after they had a webinar with List Perfectly. I moved all my winter coats and then I moved all my Christmas stuff, and now I'm just moving women's jeans. And I have sold several Alfred Dunner sweaters, like old lady sweaters. And I sold one little sequin New Year's Eve number, like a little matching skirt and crop top, and some jeans and some plush. So I really don't know what's working or sticking. I have my thought process is like when you build a building, you just keep putting bricks down. And at first you can't see what it is, but eventually if you put enough bricks, you can see what's going on and things start happening. So I just keep moving like 5 things a day. And I sold a pair of jeans yesterday with no offers, full price. They just went in and bought it. And I'm like, that's what happens when you put 5 pairs of jeans on a day. Eventually something will happen.
Oh gosh. Well, you kept talking about the bricks. All I thought in my head was Dory. Just keep swimming. Keep swimming.
If you build it, they will come. And it's like sometimes you can't see the building for the, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
You trying to say the forest for the trees?
Thank you, ma'am. That is what I'm trying to say.
Like,
the building because of the trees.
I don't know the building one, but I know about the tree.
But like when you first start on any platform, you're listing, and you can't see the bigger picture. And when you start doing that enough and you're consistent, then you start making the sales, and there's your forest. or your building, whatever. We like to mix our analogies here at the Flippin' Hippos.
Well, my garden looks like it's got lots of weeds because I can't say that there's anything even on eBay. Yes, I'm an everything seller, but I mean, it seems like whatever category I list in, that's the category that's going to be selling. And, you know,
Kevin,
I know about the Field of Dreams because I always say that to the 10th and Main girls. We've got to advertise because you can't just show up somewhere and people know you're there telepathically. It's not Field of Dreams. You don't just show up on YouTube and people come. You got to let them know where you're at. You got to tell them you're there. All right. What is a category, style / brand that was bread and butter 3 years ago that you won't touch today?
I don't know. Because I wasn't selling full time back 3 years ago, so I don't have anything right now. Because I'm selling everything. I don't care what it is. I'll sell it. It may sit for a while, but I'll still sell it. So.
I can't really think of anything. I mean, I have decided I really don't like selling complicated dresses. We were talking about prom dresses earlier. And I don't like cleaning shoes. So those things that I used to sell more of, I don't source for them anymore. But I won't say it's because they don't sell. It's just that I don't enjoy listing them.
For me, it is, oh gosh. So it was out. So mine actually changed back. It was shoes, used shoes, because I used to watch the resellers that sold shoes and they would talk about all this money you make off of shoes. So I started getting used shoes. And then I realized that I forgot that I am a semi-germaphobe. So I felt like I had to put on a whole hazmat suit to clean the used shoes that I'm going to list. And I was like, and then I have to sterilize the whole house because I cleaned the shoes in the house. And I was like, this is a lot for, and I wasn't even buying like the high-end shoes. It was just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to. But now I found a source that gives me like new shoes and like barely used shoes. So like the bottom is like kind of dirty, but the top looked pristine, like it's new. And I was like, I can do this. I don't even require any cleaning. I just take a picture of the shoe at the bottom so you can see that it has regular wear from being on asphalt or whatever. And if there's a couple rocks, I might knock those out outside. But there's no cleaning, there's no scrubbing. It's just snap, snap. And people are actually buying them. Hey, the little stars, I have to say hi because that is my little sister who is also a reseller, thanks to me. But yes, so yeah, it was shoes. And then this year, shoes came back into my life. And I'm excited because people are excited for it. And shoes are universal. So whether you're plus size or small, everybody can buy them. And yes.
So as far as brands go, I don't discern. I mean, I my cost of goods is like 99 cents. So I'm still buying JLo jeans. I'm still buying South Pole. I'm still buying Walmart brand. I pay $1 and I sell things for $20. So that's fine to me. That's the business model I built. So I will say there were some brands when I started that were BOLO that have now become bread and butter. They've kind of been a victim of the race to the bottom. That is the other soapbox. And if you race to the bottom, you're a turd. I said what I said, and you need to knock it off. But yeah, I've seen so many brands just like tumble down that slope. I don't do shoes either. Same thing. Vetta, I used to have to put them all in the foyer, like not even bring them in the house, line them up, Lysol them down. Toe sweat. I don't like it. They grossed me out.
And that's literally some people's whole empire. It's just used shoes. And I'm like, I will leave it for you. I'm going to leave those for you.
Let's fight about it. There's no fight. I'm right. If you race to the bottom, You are part of the problem, and you are destroying entire markets and ruining people's livelihoods. That's all there is to it. I said what I said. 10 toes down. How do the kids say it? 10 toes down, a full chest. But yeah, I don't know. I just buy everything. If it's $1, it's coming home with me. And I buy a lot of stuff wholesale, so it's even less than $1. So if it's a blind buy and it's in the box and it's not damaged or not, if there's nothing wrong with it, I'm going to list it because I bought it.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the crazy thing is you hear people say like, oh, this doesn't sell for me. Terra and Sky doesn't sell for me, which is a Walmart brand. And I'm like, that absolutely sells for me. And I feel like for me, it's kind of one of those things where sometimes I think especially as a plus size person and seller, that we love what we know fits, like what we're used to. A lot, like I was from a small a small town in Louisiana.
Small country.
Walmart was our mall. Like that's what everybody wore was Walmart. So they know how that Terra and Sky shirt, dress, jeans, or whatever fits them. But if I go find high-end plus size that they've never tried on, they don't want to spend $20 or $30 and they have no idea how this fits, but it's high end. And they're like, no, give me my good old Terra and Sky and let me wear it in my faded glory. And I'm here for it. So I will pick up all the Walmart that everybody else wants to leave in the bin or on the racks. I will get it. I will get it and gladly sell it to my customers. So
yeah. So my what sold video Monday was the thumbnail was me looking down and it said confession, I sell Walmart brands.
So
no shame.
I sell a lot of pajamas and I love the higher. I mean, there's brands with the pajamas that I absolutely love. But there is also like, give me secret treasures, man. I'll take those all day because you don't get returns on them. They sell super cheap, fast, not cheap, but fast. And I will list on there that, they have some pilling and they still will sell. And
you like
so
what you like.
when talking about the pants, I think, I had never found Miss Me's and I hadn't found Madewell's. And, everybody was all talking about and showing these huge dollars they got for some of these pants. I finally find them, but by the time I'm finding them, I'm on the bottom of the thing. They're going out of style. And I have Miss Me pants for sale now for less than $20 and can't give them away. So.
Oh, yeah. I that's one of the reasons why I don't follow trends. I buy what my customers are buying. I feel like I know what they're looking for, but if I get something, I realize, okay, this is not for them. And and again, being a plus size woman, I know if I pick up something and this says 4X and I'm looking at this and I'm like, no, ma'am, this is clearly an American medium. It might be a China 4X, but this is an American medium. I will not post that I'm not putting that up for my customers because I'm not just building like just a resale, like this is a brand. I'm a plus size woman. I'm literally the brand. So to give them something that they're going to hold up and be like, what side of my chest am I putting this on? I don't want them to have that feeling because when I pulled it out the box, I looked at it and it was like, okay, this is saddening. No, this is not. So yeah, I don't want to chase the trend because this is as quickly as the trends will come, they will disappear, and then we're stuck with all this inventory that we're trying to figure out what to do with. Mm-hmm. And also, I found when I would try to follow the trends, like buying a bunch of ties or something because somebody said ties are selling, and then the ties don't sell for me, and I'm like, or I just don't want to list them, and I'm like, this is not a good idea. So
yeah, and I like to say there's so many different kinds of people in the world. So there are people that are looking for what's trendy and what's fashionable.
Yes.
There are Gen Z kids who are looking for the Gen Z kid wear, the Y2K stuff. But for every one of them, there's a plus size Vetta who wants cute plus size dresses. We talked about that last night.
Like dresses. Thank you.
And then there's a plus size Star who just likes graphic tees and t-shirt and jeans. And then there's a grandma who wants her Alfred Dunner sweaters. And then there's a boho girl who just likes peasant tops. Like there's so many different types of people in this world that shop online. I don't want to tunnel vision onto one type of person.
Well,
I
so
want
not that I won't buy a trend. I just won't I won't do the thing where it's like, okay, let me go get all these now. And so it's kind of like, so if I see something, I'm like, oh, okay, I just happened to buy it and it was on trend. But yeah, but I had set my set on where I'm going into the store and I'm just eyeballing ties because, when we first started reselling, we're just trying to figure out what to sell, like what sells. And so you're just kind of scrambling to find the item that sells. And then you're like, no, this isn't working, which is why I used to be an everything seller because I wanted to try some of everything.
All right, we don't have any more questions in the chat yet. Y'all need to put more questions in the chat. I'm going to ask a question. What is your favorite platform to sell on and why?
eBay is my favorite because of my largest platform. It makes the most money. And they're the largest audience. It's the largest platform out there to sell on. And my second would probably be Walmart because they have the fastest sell-through rate.
So I think I said that at the very beginning. My favorite is eBay. That's because it's like my best friend. We've been in this business together for way over 20 years. I know it frontwards, backwards, and we have a good relationship. I started Etsy a few years ago. The first year on Etsy was really, really slow. The last 5 or 6 months on Etsy, I'm loving what I see. And I love the fact that it is higher dollar things that are selling. And it is, I sold a snowsuit today on Etsy. We're talking, several $100s. And I got to put it into a priority box. So I didn't even have to pay for the box. So Etsy is a new, very, very good friend that I'm looking forward to having cocktails with and getting to know better. But eBay is like the old steady boyfriend that's there that you can count on and know what to expect.
Oh, so my favorite and I love is Poshmark. Oh, no.
I love Poshmark.
I started with Poshmark. Well, actually, sadly, no. Now I'm thinking back. I started with eBay because I did not know Poshmark, and I saw the Poshmark commercial, and I went over to Poshmark, and I kind of liked it a little more because it kind of gave you the supplies you needed, but I found that it was, and at first it was for the ease, and now it's because my customers are there. Like the bundling is so much easier for them, and then at the cost because they can get 5 pounds of clothes and they're paying this. And so whereas on eBay for 3 dresses or whatever, it's like each dress is almost a pound, like they fall into the 2 pound range. And so it's costing them more, and I can only be so lenient on shipping. Whereas Poshmark, I'm literally got people, they're putting 7, 8, 9 pieces together and they're like, okay, bundle it up. And I'm like, here you go. And then sometimes if they go over, I'm like, okay, well, you pay for the first box and I got the second box, because of the buy that they're making. And so it's just so much easier, I feel, for them as far as getting what they need at a good price and then at a fair shipping for them. And even now with the new ground rate shipping, it's even better. And I like that they've created now this new 5 and 10 pound thing for $5 and $10 thing, which I feel like as a seller, it's going to help us with the people. So I'm not thinking so much as if my customers want to get, more and more and more. Now bring it. Come, let's get 20 pieces. So yeah. So and then my second is oddly enough Mercari. I know people, we like Mercari, no sales. I don't get daily, but I do get weekly sales on Mercari. And I'm getting customers now that are repeat, and I get a lot of amazing feedback. Paragraphs from people, and they're just like, "Oh, you're wonderful," and I care about you, and I love your lettering, and I'm like, "Oh my!" They really make me feel good. Poshmark and Mercari, my customers really make me feel good. I did have a really good eBay one too, though, but I'm just saying that I get more love on the Posh and the Mercari. So those are my ride eyes.
Mine's Etsy. I think just like everybody else in the world, the majority volume-wise of my sales are always going to be eBay. It's always going to be my biggest seller. It has the biggest, I mentioned earlier, it's part of pop culture. Everybody knows eBay. It's got a global audience. If you use GPS, it's going to be always. But there's a lot of things that eBay does that I don't agree with and I don't like. So I have like a love-hate with eBay. Etsy is smooth sailing. There's no love-hate. It's easy to list on it. People pay more money over there. People are nicer. The conversations I have with people aren't. I have some really weird conversations with people on eBay. Last night, someone asked me to cancel an order that somebody else had bought so they could buy an item. Like, people on Etsy don't expect that kind of, like, I like Etsy. I love how people will just pay so much more for stuff over there without any question. No haggling, no bartering.
Priority shipping. I can't believe how many people on Etsy opt in for priority shipping.
The international. So they'll buy a little hippo, they'll pay $10 for him, and then they'll pay $26 to ship him overseas.
Yeah, I have to say that with my DVDs, I especially sell over there a lot. They spend a lot of international over on Etsy. So that is definitely one of the other platforms I'm really big in right now, growing.
And I've only had one international sale on everything.
I think I had 6 international sales this week on Etsy.
Awesome.
So
before we move to the next question, I just want to ask Brian real quick. What kind of movies are people overseas buying? Like, what kind of stuff do they like? If you just get into a genre or something.
I don't think that they're really a genre, and it's all over. A lot of VHS, really. I sell a lot more VHS overseas. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to me what the international buyers, they love Disney Plus. Now I know they like VHS. And they love like the big American brands like Miss Me and Wrangler. I noticed that too. Yeah, Valerie texted me last week, and then I was a big fat asshole and never got back to her on it. She said, "Where do you ship to on Etsy?" And I said, "Tell me where to look on the computer." And she told me, and then I think it was either a Thursday or a Friday night, and I had YouTube. And I'm sorry, Valerie, I'll get back to you. We have 5 questions. Let's get going.
Oh.
I wanted to just address this real quick. The gentleman we had advised to go on vacation before doesn't have an eBay store. So then your best bet would be probably to put your handling out to like 10. How long is your vacation? Like 10 days?
10 days, he said.
Yeah, you can do that.
Maybe you would set it at out of 15 days and then change it when you get back or whatever. So
yeah, that's going to be your best for your situation. Everyone else that has a store, your best bet would be to go on vacation mode, I think. What is one item you sourced to flip but ended up keeping for yourself because you loved it too much?
I don't do that because I buy in such large volume that everything I buy is it's flipped. Because I buy everything in truckloads. So I buy large quantities at a time.
And I don't keep anything specific, but if I like it a lot, I might put a much higher price on it, and then if it sells, it sells. I had a little rock that I really liked, and I put $109 on it, and when it sold on Etsy, I didn't care. It was a 3-inch rock, and I sold it for over $100, and I was happy to have that $100.
This dress and many other dresses. I love wearing dresses and skirts. Dresses are my favorite piece of clothing in the whole wild world. So it's hard sometimes when I thrift and I find cute dresses because I'm like, mine. And so, yeah, that is my Achilles heel.
I buy in large quantity too most of the time. So like Brian, I just kind of list all that. But I do go to the thrift store once a month with my eBay seller circle group. And I kind of purposely look for myself. So I don't source something and get it home and decide to keep it. Like I've been losing weight, so I buy 5 pairs of jeans that I know I can come home and try on. If they don't work for me, I can sell them. So I shop with the idea of these outfits are going to be for me, and then 95% of them I get home, they don't fit or I don't like them, so then I just sell them. And I have been guilty of shopping my own store. So when I dropped the first 25 pounds, my pants were Karen that lives here that goes thrifting with me. She can attest. I was like holding them up and I had belts in my pants. I'm like, girl, I gotta go to the thrift store. I need some jeans. Pants are falling off. And I shopped my own store. I just like pulled jeans out, like the lower end bread and butter ones, just to wear to get through. And I borrow stuff too. So if I go to an event, I'll borrow an outfit. I just unlist it and bring it, wear it, wash it, and relist it. I borrow stuff too. And like this little guy, I just have like a bunch of little dudes that hang out on my desk, but they're listed. But I just like think they're cute, so they just hang out with me until they sell.
Oh,
So
I would think you would keep every hippo.
I have so many hippos, but I do sell some. Thank you so much. It's been a process. It's been a whole entire lifestyle change, but tell us. Oh, this is just for Brian, who hasn't talked a lot. So now it's your time to shine. Tell us about Walmart.
So on Walmart, mainly what I do is I go to Walmart and I buy their clearance items. And put them right back on Walmart full price. I have started selling, doing case packs on Whatnot, buying case packs, and putting those back on Walmart full price. So, and if I go to yard sales or any kind of retail arbitrage, I will try to find anything that's new with tags that I can put on Walmart. So, I haven't really looked into buying I have looked into truckloads or pallets, but I don't have the space right now to hold a pallet. I have too much other stuff. So that'll be my next venture.
My friend Karen sells on Whatnot. No, I'm trying to talk about Walmart now. She sells on Walmart, and she says she loves it, but her one big pain point is the shipping. Like something like you can't ever have it like put it out for longer or take a day off or whatever.
You can set vacation, and you can set your delay time. If you're so you can, but with vacation, you have to go in there and set each day that you're going to be off, one day at a time. So it's not like you can say go in there and say I'm going to be gone for 10 days. You have to go in there each day, and you're only allowed like 15 days a year on Walmart. So it's pretty limited. And there is a lag time, so you can go in there and say because right now all my shipping has to be done on the same day by 11 o'clock. But you can go in there and set a lag time that'll be the next business day. But you have to do it on every single item. There's no global setting, so every item you have to set individually. So yeah, and it's free shipping over there. Everything is free shipping, so you have to build that into your cost.
Okay,
so,
that must have been what she was complaining about.
Yeah,
the vacation.
And you can add shipping, but it's probably not going to sell as fast because they're going to charge. It's going to just sit there longer. So if you do the free shipping, you just have to make sure you build it into your cost. So
doesn't Walmart have where you can do it fulfilled by Walmart as well?
You can ship it all in there and have and do the warehouse, and they charge you by the square footage of how much space you have you're using and all that stuff. It's like 30 cents a square foot or something per month. So it's not a lot, but I would rather just ship myself right now. So I only have like 300 items over there. So
my kids sell on Walmart, and they don't do any shipping themselves. They have it all shipped out by Walmart. But my daughter, there's times she'll be going crazy. She had a listing. Somebody else had made a listing for an item, so that was out of stock, but there was an error in the listing, and she must have had 3 calls to Walmart and 2 days of stress because she hadn't made the listing to begin with, and because it was already listed, they wouldn't let her do her own listing, and they wouldn't let her easily change the air from it. So I see the frustration that she goes through. I mean, they're a much bigger seller than what I would ever be, but I see the frustration that she goes through, and it's like, oh my gosh. I don't deal with anything like that on Etsy or eBay or.
The other complaint that I would have is returns. The returns on people complain about returns like on eBay and stuff. Walmart returns are worse. I typically run about a 6% to 18% return rate. I have about a 1.5% on eBay. So my minimum about 6%. So on Walmart. So my return rate is so much higher. So
No offense, but that's gross, bro.
yeah, it's crazy. And they'll return anything. They will return anything. So
all right, the next question is, what have you bought thinking it would be a big seller and it's still sitting in your store unsold, or you just got rid of it?
I don't know, because I buy everything in large quantities. I don't have anything. I never really look for the big sellers. I just buy in large quantities of clothing, DVDs, movies, whatever. I've never really looked for that big seller item. So
I can't think of anything right off, but I will say that it's like I can buy like a lot. I can buy a lot of, say I bought 72 fishing shirts, and the first 68 of them sold like absolutely crazy. No difference with the last 4, but a year later, the last 4 are still sitting there.
I would say for me, it was, I want to say it was some candles. I actually bought a bunch of candles. And then it wasn't so much that they didn't sell as they melted. So it was just terrible. But my garage smelled amazing.
I bet.
Every time I go out there to work, it just smells lovely.
Beanie Babies. If anyone has some spare time tomorrow or later tonight and you're so inclined, the very first video I ever made on YouTube goes into detail about the Beanie Babies and why it was 2017 and I was a new reseller, okay? So and they're still here. I tried to give them to a domestic violence shelter. I tried to give them to the fire halls because they sometimes will take donations because they give children that they rescue from fires a stuffy. But it was during COVID when I was trying to get rid of them and nobody was taking donations like that. So they went to Florida with me. They came back. They're still in a box in the garage. Some of them are listed. Like I started grouping them like all dogs, all cats, but I still have them. And I'm not even embarrassed about it. I bought Beanie Babies and thought I was going to be rich. I sure did. That and some Black Diamond Disney.
Oh, I was looking for those too. I remember seeing about the bolo, and I was like, "Is this a Black Diamond? Which ones are black?" See, that's the thing about everything sellers and people being resellers on YouTube telling you these bolos, and then that's why I feel like I say I don't follow trends because I feel like you get blindsided and you're just looking for that buzz in here. I gotta find it. It's like searching for Pokemons or something. Yeah.
So yes, I still have some beanie friends. Okay, the next question is, what are you selling on Etsy?
Mainly media. That's my biggest thing. Is media, because that's about half of my store. On eBay, I have about 6,000 pieces of media. So I'm getting all my vintage media over there. That's anything 2006 or older. I do have some hard goods and collectibles, some vintage clothing, and some vintage electronics, but mainly it's media. So.
And I have sold a little bit of everything over there. I've sold a lot of cookbooks, vintage cookbooks, and especially if you have ones that have like, grandma wrote recipes in the borders or whatever. They have done really well for me. And then the Department 56 Christmas stuff has done phenomenal. But I've sold plush, I've sold clothes. As I said, I shipped out a snowsuit today. So yeah, I sold sewing notions, like the lace, the stretch lace that people put on like lingerie. I sold a lot of that today. And yeah, the one thing I will say about Etsy though is I cannot have a sale for 4 or 5 days and then I sell like 3 things in the same day. And then I won't have a sale for a few days and then I'll sell 2 or 3 things again. It comes in very much clumps for me.
So I don't actually sell on Etsy, but I am slightly actually starting something new. I hadn't really talked about it much. I started a little partnership. The one whose son thinks I'm famous now, Charlie. She loves to create things. And so we have started Reloved Nook. And so she is the brains and the creator, and I am every other part of it. I'm the seller. And so I know reselling, and she likes being artsy. And so we're hoping that her items, we actually just launched 4 items on there this week. She's super excited. I'm excited for her. And so we'll see what happens, but we're hoping that people will come and shop. And so, yeah. So, because I couldn't figure out, I did get my name though on Etsy, Vettas Treasures, because I don't want anybody having my name out there. But I haven't figured out anything from Vettas Treasures specifically to put on there. But yeah, so.
What type of items is she making?
So basically she's, what we call it, reimagining things. She loves redesigning old picture frames and stuff. So she'll use like burlap and lace and stuff. She's painted some. She uses her the Cricut. And so she did some frames where she redesigned the frame and then she put inside of it like affirmations, which I love that she does because I'm a big believer in like affirmation and increasing love and spirit and raising these people's thoughts about themselves. And so, but there was one that was funny and it said, I'm feeling sick tomorrow. And so I was like, this needs to be on somebody's office desk.
Yeah.
Like, tell your boss, I'm feeling sick tomorrow. So yeah, so she's doing things like that. And then she did a glass where she put like for St. Patrick's Day, she made a big beer mug. And so we have that on there. And so, yeah. So she's gonna, as she works on projects, then I will list them. So I told her, go at your pace and I will, get it up there. So.
So I sell mostly jewelry, costume, contemporary, and vintage on Etsy. How I sell contemporary on Etsy is I sell pendants without the chain, and you can list those as DIY jewelry. And I have a few pieces of vintage clothing. I bought 250 pounds of clothes from my friend Lori. If you watch my channel, you've been watching me unbox it every Friday for a long time. A lot of that was vintage and my vintage plushies. And I put a lot of Keith's remote controls on there because they're DVD VCR controls, which is vintage. And most recently, I've been putting recipes on there because I'm planning on making a cookbook by the end of the year. So I'm kind of putting recipes out for $1.49 now until I get enough to pull them down and make a cookbook and add like 50 never before seen. And that's like one of my big goals this year. So I do sell recipes on there if you're interested. I am a good cook. I'm not tooting my own horn. Everyone tells me that. I'm good. I'm not a chef. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. There's a huge difference between a cook and a chef. But this is for Brian. I think you just answered this.
Yeah, right. I do sell a little bit of everything, but it's mainly DVDs and media. So.
And Kathy says, congratulations, Brian, on your growth. You've grown so fast. It's been amazing to watch. Can you share how you've grown in the time you've been full-time?
Being full-time, I've been able to commit to it. And I've actually doubled my business in 2025 over 2024. Being full-time for the first full year last year, I doubled my business from 24 to 25. So I'm looking to doubling it again this year. So as long as life don't get in the way.
Yeah. All right. This one's for me. Absolutely not. No. I actually read all of my books on a Kindle or on my Kindle app on my phone. I do pay for Kindle Unlimited. And then if you're readers out there, if you didn't know, there's an app called Libby, and it's free, and you sign up with your library card number, and you can check out ebooks for free and link them to your Kindle and read them. So since I read 100 books a year, I don't buy every book I read. I'd be broker than a drug addict in like a month. I read books first, and the ones that I really like, I buy trophies. So all of my books back here that you see on the shelf, they've never been cracked open. They're just trophies. Because they're my favorites, or I have some autographed books by some authors. I have Stephen King first editions. So those are just collect. Those are all my favorites. And then I read everything on the Kindle. I don't sell books because if I bought them to sell, I would keep them, and it would just be a whole mess. So no. That's the short answer. No. Are there any? This one's for Ryan as well. Are there any special requirements to get approved to sell in Walmart?
I know you have to be a business. That's the only one that I really remember. Everything else I did, but yeah, you have to have a business to sell on Walmart. So
yeah, you have to be.
I applied on a Friday and got approved on Saturday. So it was a pretty quick process. I know other people have taken a while to get approved, but I literally got approved overnight. So
I was going to say, I do know you have to be an LLC. You can't be a sole prop.
Yeah.
Ask me
So
how I know.
LLC or higher, yeah. So,
because I sure tried. And they said, no, ma'am, that's your social. And I'm like, that's my business number. I'm a sole prop.
Yeah, so I have an LLC, so.
Yeah. I have this one for us. What are your thoughts or experience on selling lots of similar items like vanity, sewing, jewelry, junk drawers? I have items of value but don't want to sell for or pay out of, you know what I'm trying to say. She doesn't want to sell them for $10.
Yeah, if you don't, that's what I would do, because I don't want to get into selling jewelry either or something like that. I just sold all my jewelry that I had to another reseller because I didn't want to do it. So I would just sell it up with a lot. So
I am doing more and more lots. Matter of fact, I had a bunch of even like Boy Scout badges that individually was going to take forever. I just put them together in 2 big lots. And I would highly recommend it. I don't know I've never done like a junk drawer, but I know people do really well with selling junk drawer lots.
So I don't actually sell those, but I do feel like, as someone who would buy, I feel like the lots are better when it comes to smaller things because and I've even seen like other resellers, they get really excited when you get a lot because you get a plethora of things versus just the one piece. And so I'm just particularly not one who likes to gamble. But I know people like mystery boxes because then, you just kind of get to. I've watched Star a couple times do her unboxing of jewelries, and so I think it's kind of cool when you see the lots.
So yeah, I do buy my jewelry in lots, but I tried her out one time. I buy from Whistle Pig Market on Etsy. If you use code HIPPO, you get 20% off. It's not an affiliate link; it's just a coupon. But if you want to use it, because she'll keep it up and I can use it too. But I just tried her out, and she has such great stuff. I just keep buying from her. I don't really I locked the Beanie Babies up to try to get rid of them. I have a whole bunch of DVDs I think I'm about to lot up because they've been I've done whatnot shows since Black Friday, and every Friday I sell a couple, but I'm over it. So I think I'm gonna start lotting them up. But like Brian said, you can always reach out to other resellers. 80% of what I source, I buy out other resellers. People that want to get out of clothes or want to get out of jewelry. The 250 pounds of clothes I've been working through came from a reseller. So that's viable. You can reach out to other resellers. Just keep in mind that if you're going to lot it up for another reseller, you have to sell it at a price that you're happy with, but that there's a lot of meat on the bone. Because we, as resellers, don't want to pay what you thought you were going to get on eBay, because we're going to turn around and sell it, and then there's no room for profit. So you can also do one more thing, Annette. You could also do boxes and lots on the platforms.
Going on one of the things where she was saying she didn't want to sell things under $10. And so I had bought a kid's lot of, there was a whole bunch of the Geronimo books in there. Well, I mean, they were selling like $2.99, $3.99 a piece. It didn't even make sense to sell them individually like that. So I just put them together, 16 books, and they sold really fast. I was super happy with what I made. It was one listing. It was, I probably did 6 or 8 pictures, and that was it. Where individually, it wouldn't have been worth it. I mean, I would have been donating them if I wouldn't have allotted them up.
Oh, I guess it's on me. All right. There is no more questions, and we've been on for just a little bit over an hour. So the last question I ask everyone every week is, what is your best advice for new resellers?
Just being consistent every single day. Just be consistent with what you do each and every day. So.
And I would definitely agree with Brian on that. The other thing is, as a new reseller, you don't need to go out and buy a whole lot of stuff. I still have stuff that I bought 10, 15 years ago that I overbought and never got it listed, whatever. Look around your house, pick up things around your house, go through your own closet, go through your own kitchen. And there is such a satisfying feeling when you sell something that you didn't donate yourself. You got money back out of it, and somebody else is going to like that dress that, you had 10 years ago and haven't worn it in 5.
My best advice would be to start small and build up. Do not look at big resellers and go out and spend thousands of dollars on whether it's inventory or printers or the thing. I bought that big old light box that you could actually walk into, and it's now under my daughter's bed because of the fact that we can literally remove backgrounds. And I was like, seriously, it's a $300 investment that's under the bed. But it's like all these things that we thought we had to have, and I've even seen reels now. People say things that we bought that we didn't necessarily need, but you just assume you need all these things. And some people literally will go broke before they even get started because you've invested all this money. I remember using my inkjet printer, and then I made some money and I bought the thermal printer. I'm the kind of person I like my money to make money. I like to spend my business money, so I don't want to always have to be where you're just constantly pulling from your personal account and your business account is not moving because the business account is not moving. So if your business account is not growing, that means you probably should stop shopping or something. So I would just say don't get tunnel vision on the big sellers. Even big sellers started as small sellers. And so, but I think we just get so caught up with how big they have become, and you want to be that person, And so, yeah. So I'm just kind of a person, like I said, I like to stay in my lane, go at my speed, and the only competition is myself. So, if you did 100 sales last month, your competition is do 200 next month. So try to beat yourself. Don't try to beat the other thing. And then not all resellers to me are not my competition. They're my colleagues, because we can tend to learn something from each other here. So don't be afraid to reach out to the community. And not every advice is good advice. check their sources. Some people will lead you astray.
Yeah. Inventory management. Do not list 1,000 or 2,000 things your first year in without having an inventory management system. I did, and I cried my entire Q4 and lost stuff, and it was stressful, and I was a miserable person, and I just jumped in and got ahead of me. But if you start from day one with your first listing, or if you're new and you only have 10 or 20, it's a lot more manageable. I think having the inventory management system is so important because you waste so much time if you can't find stuff. Time is money. You have to cancel, then you're risking the health of your accounts. And if something happens to you, our friend Trish likes to say you should have an inventory management system set up so anybody else can walk in and ship for you if you can't do it yourself. And that's what keeps you.
She says if you get hit by a bus.
We're
all afraid of that bus. There's this magical bus somewhere that's going to hit us all.
Hey, I've seen Final Destination. I'm going out with some logs.
Look both ways before crossing the street.
Logs are coming at me.
Look, I've seen all those Final Destinations too.
They instill some fear in me. But get your inventory management system and learn shipping too, because you can waste a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing with shipping. These are all mistakes that I've made, and I don't like other people to make the mistakes I've made. So don't buy Beanie Babies. Have a good inventory management system. Don't buy black DVD diamond thingies, VHS, and learn your shipping. And community. That has said that, but community is important.
I will say when I buy something on eBay and it arrives to me, especially if it's something fragile, I can almost date how long that person has been shipping or selling based on how it's packed. Because most new sellers, I don't think realize if it's breakable, how bubble wrap can be your best friend.
I agree. And I even bought a bubble machine to make my own bubble wrap. So
how's that work?
It works really well. You just buy it in a film. It comes in a roll, 984 feet of bubble, and it just feeds through. You just push a button, it airs it up, seals it off, and it comes in 1 foot section. So it comes out about 4 cents a sheet instead of a foot. So instead of buying it from the store, so
I might look into that because I use a lot of bubble wrap with my jewelry.
I haven't even went through the first roll. I've got. I still have another roll underneath. It's about $30 a roll, and the machine's about $150. So
$150 for the machine?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking that's gonna be $1,000.
No, it's about $150 on eBay.
And the roll?
About $30 a roll, depending on what kind. If you get small bubble, big bubble, or the air pillows, depending on what kind of pillows you get. So
I have to figure out how
$30 to $35 a roll, probably.
Okay, 35 to 40 a roll.
So it would be, I pay 4 cents a square foot for mine, but just the convenience of not having to deal with those bubbles and having all those rolls. And, you know, I mean, I do pick up my own normally instead of having it shipped, but it's somewhere I'm going anyways, but I can only fit 3 of those rolls in my car at a time. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but that's the roll. That's all it is. There's one roll. That big. That's 980. That's 984 feet.
Okay.
So
I'm not. Let's not
but
lie.
That's more than 12 inches wide.
That's 16 inch. That was 16 inch. You can get 12 inch also.
Okay.
So, but that was a 16 inch. So
I'm gonna do some math, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have my accountant downstairs do some math.
Yeah.
And see if we would. Because we get it really, really cheap as is, but I'm all about saving. If I can save a penny 10 times, 20 times a day on my shipping or my supplies, I mean,
and it also takes up less space too. So that's the thing you got to figure out too, is if it takes up less space, that may be beneficial for you too, because then you can use that space for something else.
Yeah, I just like to save money. I was
You can
raised
make
by
you can make money if you put that stuff, put inventory in that space where you put bubble.
Yes, true. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because I paid $12 for a 300-foot roll, and so I'm paying 4 cents a foot. But like, I have a half a shed that is just bubble wrap. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, it's the back of our basement garage where we keep all of our inventory is like a separate washroom, and this half of it is all bubble wrap in boxes. And I only bring up a little because I don't like my office to get cluttered. I only bring up a little bit at a time. Libby is awesome. That's kind of delayed. But thank you for chiming. I love Libby. I love libraries. I'm so thankful for libraries. They kept me sane as an only child. What was that beep? Was that in my house?
No, it's me.
I was about to yell, Keith, what are you doing down there? You're scaring my hamster.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's my alarm. That's from
Okay.
time for medicine.
All right. We'll just end this with tell the people where they can find you.
They can find my everything on my link tree at briansresellshop.com, and all my stores will be on there on eBay, Etsy. All of them will be listed there.
And I'm going to say the same thing because my eBay store is PatRay1136. That has nothing to do with Grandma's Secret Shop. We just haven't ever got around to changing the name. But yeah, my link tree has all the different links.
Same here. You can find me on the link tree. Oh gosh, I did not say on the link tree. Showing my age. You can find me on Linktree.
On the internet.
on the Twitter. The tweeter. So, but yeah. Gosh. Linktree has my Poshmark and Mercari, all those good things, and social media like Instagram, Facebook. And so yeah, you can find me there, and soon my Linktree will have on there, even though it's not Vettas Treasures, you'll find my daughter Amari has Amari's Treasures, which is actually medium sized to kids. So I get the bigger, she gets the littlers. And then the Reloved Nook will also be added to my link tree for Etsy. So find me there.
You guys can find me here every Thursday night at 8:30 Eastern, and I will be having old and new friends alike. I'll have a lot of repeat guests. I hope that's okay because I like hanging out with my friends, and if they're willing to come back, that's cool too. Friday nights at 8 p.m. I'm on 10th and Main, live selling with my friends, and I'm on Whatnot a couple times a week. I put my group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Everyone should join that group. It's a very positive, well, we had some negativity today, but she has been since removed because rule number 1 in my group is don't be a turd. You have to be nice to be in there. But it's a good Facebook group, and I put the 10th and Main YouTube if you want to follow us over there. And I'm on all the things as Flippin' Hippos. You should find me on TikTok because that's where I'm at the most because I have an addiction. Did I mention that? The one thing that keeps me from reading a lot isn't movies, isn't TV, it isn't streaming. It's that darn TikTok. You can find me on the TikToks because I'm addicted and I just can't get enough. Is that who sings that? Black Eyed Peas, right? Fergie?
Oh, I don't think I know what you're talking about. I'm addicted and I just can't
get enough.
Yeah, I think that's. Oh, and real quick, so I looked at my phone. I had a text message. I would like to say a early happy birthday to my Aunt Tina. Her birthday's tomorrow. So
happy birthday, Aunt Tina.
Thank you for coming to listen. She's like, I'm listening. Say something to me.
Oh, that's cute. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on tonight. I really appreciate you being on the panel.
It was fun.
Thank you for having me. Sorry about my meeting.
If you ever want to come back, just let me know because it's always fun here. And everyone watching, thank you so much if you were here live. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate that too. Every view, every like helps this channel grow and make money. I'm not here to make money, but you know, if I want to keep doing this, it has to pay the bills, or else I have to quit and go resell. And I'd rather do this. So thank you for all of the support, and I really appreciate everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.